Hello, teacher.
Did everybody have a
All
nice
good.
weekend?
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
Good. I'm
Yes,
glad.
teacher.
It's Monday. It's Monday. Like I was telling the people who are here at right at 7. Tonight we're going to finish up chapter 3. Chapter 3, remember, is all about what we call noun clauses, right? We talked about using noun clauses with if and with whether. We talked about using noun clauses with what, when, where, why, how, who. And then we talked about using reported speech with the word that, right? He told me that. He said that. And remember, we also talked about the difference between say and tell, right? Remember, say, we never mentioned the person. Tell, we always have the person. He told me that, or he said that, right? And we studied all of that last week. But I thought maybe one more night of practice might be good. Sounds good?
Yes. Sounds good.
Okay, sounds good. So we're gonna start with the video from the lesson. Now you don't have this video in your book. This is a video from a different book, but I thought we'd watch it together and we'd practice together. It's all about changing those verbs to past tense. So let me share that with you right now if I can find it. There it is. Okay. All right. So let's watch this video together. I'm not gonna play the sound. But we'll just talk it through together little by little, because sometimes when I play the sound, it gets a lot of bad noise. So I think we can do this together. All right. All right. Can everybody see the video screen?
Yes.
The big blue square? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Do you hear anything?
No. Yes.
Yes, I hear like
I
tick,
mean,
tick, 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 tick.
Yeah. But I mean, do you hear the sound from the video? No, right?
No.
No.
Yeah, I don't know what that tick, tick, tick is. All right. So let's watch and listen. It says indirect or reported speech is used to report what someone has said. We are looking for volunteers, somebody says. What did he say? He said that they were looking for volunteers, right? We are changes to they were, right? I have to change it to third person. Remember, it's always going to be he, she, it, they. And we're also using the past tense verb. Instead of present continuous, past continuous, right? Yeah. So here's the rule. What does it say? It says when changing present statements to past, the verbs in both clauses change in formal English. Remember, like I said before, like I said last week, if it's informal English or the person said the thing very recently, sometimes we don't change it. But in formal English, we do. And what does it say? No quotation marks. So let's look at an example here, right? Notice this is what we call formal English. This is reported direct quotation, right? I have quotation mark, I have a comma, I have another quotation mark, and then I have said Dan. But that's not very common unless you're a newspaper reporter, right? What do we usually do? We usually do the second example. Dan said that he didn't like taking money from people. All right, so let's practice a little bit. Everybody ready?
Yes.
All right, the first statement is, I like, simple present, I like working with children, okay? So what did she say?
She said
She
that
said
She likes
liked
working with children.
Sounds good to me. She said that she liked
liked
working with children, right? I
yes.
like becomes she liked.
She likes.
She likes.
Simple present changes to simple past.
To simple past.
All right, let's look at another one. Another one, we have simple present, but we have negative. I don't have time to volunteer. So what did he say?
He said
Said
he
that he
doesn't have
didn't have
time
He
to
didn't
volunteer.
two
have-
volunteers.
Exactly. He said that he didn't have time to
He
volunteer.
didn't.
He said that he didn't have time to volunteer. I don't changes to he didn't.
Did.
All right, the next one is present continuous. The statement is first person plural. We're building homes for the homeless. Okay, so what can we say? They said,
They
They
said that
say that
they're,
they were
they
building
were
homes
building homes
the
for the
homeless.
homeless.
right, right. We
He
are
said
becomes they
They
were.
they
And,
were building
and
homes
notice
for
the
the
word
homeless.
that. That is in parentheses because it's not necessary. It's okay, but it's not
Optional.
necessary.
It's optional.
Exactly. All right, let's keep going here. All right, this one has can. All right, you can learn a lot. All right, so what could we say for this one? She said that.
He said
She
that
said
I
that
could
she can
learn
I could
lot.
learn a lot.
by a volunteer.
Now, in this case, I don't know if you necessarily have to change the you. Because remember, in English, sometimes we use you as an impersonal noun. For example, if I say, you can get a newspaper at 7-Eleven, I'm not talking about you, Isadora, I'm talking about anybody, right? So probably we don't need to change you, because it's not talking about me in particular. It's talking about anybody, right?
Mhm.
So
Okay.
what do we have here? She said
I
that you could.
could
That you could learn
learn a
a
lot
lot by volunteering.
Right?
by
Can
volunteering.
changes to could.
Cool.
Can becomes could. Present changes to past. All right, so far so good.
Yes.
This one is a be verb. It is not difficult to find a volunteer position. It is not difficult to find a volunteer position. Okay, so we have it is. So what can we say in this case? She
It
said
that
that it
wasn't
wasn't.
difficult
Exactly.
to find a
She
volunteer.
said that it wasn't difficult to
difficult
find
to find a volunteer position.
Exactly. She said that it wasn't difficult. Right? Is not becomes wasn't.
Wasn't.
All right. Check your understanding. Okay. Well, we already did these, but let's do them again. All right. Here they come again. So, I like working with children. Otra vez, what did she say?
She
said
said
that she
working
liked
with
She
children.
like
working with children.
Working with children.
That's right. I don't have time to volunteer. What did he say?
He
said
said
that
he
he
had
didn't
time to
have
work
time
have
time
time
to
to
volunteer.
volunteer.
to
Exactly.
volunteer.
Simple present becomes simple past. We're building homes for the homeless. What did he say?
They
He said that they
said
were
they
building
were
homes.
building homes for the homeless.
Right. We are becomes they were.
They were.
You can learn a lot by volunteering. What did she say?
She
Said
Said
she said that you
you
could learn
could
a
learn a
lot
lot
by
by
volunteering.
by
volunteering.
volunteering. Excellent. It's not difficult to find a volunteer position. What did she say?
She
Said that
said
She said
wasn't
that
difficult.
it wasn't difficult
to
to
find a
find
volunteer
a
position.
volunteer position.
A volunteer position.
Very good. All right, and here's our review. Right? Remember, whenever we have simple present, like I volunteer, we're going to change it to simple past. Let me make this a little bit bigger so everybody can see. Oop, that didn't work. Do you see now? No?
No.
Okay, how about there? You see?
Well,
No?
No.
What do you see?
Oh, what I see.
Do you see the report here?
Yes.
The grammar
Yes.
focus in direct report speech.
Okay, okay, good, good. So we have simple present becomes simple past. Present continuous becomes past continuous. Can becomes could.
Could.
And I am becomes wasn't. Oops. A little crazy there.
Now it's better, teacher.
There we go. Okay. All right. I don't like answering said he didn't like answering, right? So there we have it.
Okay.
Okay. Now.
I'm enjoying tutoring job.
They said that they couldn't
She said
find a
that she
job.
was enjoying her tutoring job.
Mhm.
We can find job, they say. They say that they couldn't find job.
All right. So that was what we practiced on, I think, on Wednesday. Okay, no problem.
No problem.
You're gonna cancel? You want me to cancel for you?
All right.
No, I mean, I'll work.
Here we go. Okay. Now.
Hey, Guadalupe.
Hey!
All right. I don't know where that little noise is coming from.
I don't know. Chaka, 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 chaka.
Yeah, that's ticka, 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 ticka.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe everybody hears it though, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like somebody's tapping on something.
Computer?
The computer noise, I guess. All right, we'll just have to accept it for tonight. All right, so what have we practiced just now? It was called indirect speech for affirmative and negative statements, right? Now for the question, it's a little more difficult. So that's what we were working on and we were struggling with so much last night. So let me share the board and let's practice this just a little bit and then we'll practice together, okay? All right, can everybody see the board?
Not yet.
Not yet.
You don't see the board yet?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, so let's look at indirect questions in past. This is tricky because we have to make two changes, right? So, two changes are necessary. One, put the verb after the subject. And two, change the verb to a past form. Okay, everybody agree?
Yes.
So if someone says, A says, let me get the quote here. Where are the apples I asked the clerk? Okay, where are the apples I asked the clerk? Oh, I have to have a question mark. I cannot be a bad model here. I have to have a question mark because it's a question, right? Where are the apples I asked the clerk? Okay, so I got to make two changes, right? So I'm going to start out with I asked the clerk. I asked the clerk. But what do I have to do? Put the verb after the subject and change the verb to past. So, where the apples were. Right? I asked the clerk where the apples were. You see what I did? I changed are to were and I put it after the verb, after the subject. Okay? So far, so good?
Excuse me.
Yes.
Right there on the clerk. Is,
Yeah.
or I asked the clerk or to Clark?
I asked the clerk. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the question? Are you wondering about two?
Yeah, yeah. Of like if you if like use to or that, because it's like ask to Clark or Claire. What is Claire?
Neither. Neither.
Oh,
Right? Everybody knows the word clerk, right?
Yes.
Like the guy who works in the grocery store, right? He's the
oh,
clerk. The clerk,
Yes.
right? But remember, this is a good question because I know in Spanish, whenever you say I asked somebody, you have to say right? But in English, we don't say to. I don't say I asked to somebody. I just say I asked the person. I asked my
oh,
mother, I asked my father, I asked my brother, I asked my sister. No to.
oh, okay.
Yeah. No to, no that. Right?
All right.
Okay. So let's try another one. When did you wake up? My mom asked me. All right. Okay, what are we going to say for this one? My mom
My mom
asked
Ask
me
me
when
did I
when I woke up.
when I
woke up.
remember change simple past to past perfect, right?
I
When
had
I had woken.
woken up.
My mom asked me when I had woken up. My mom asked me when I had woken up. Okay. So what did I do? I put it into the form with connector, subject, verb, and I changed my verb from simple past to
Past perfect.
past perfect. Let's see. What can we do about this problem? I asked Rita. Okay. What can we say? I
asked Rita
Rita.
what could
What?
what
But
could
again, let's put the subject in the what
could
we could
what we could
do about
about this problem.
the problem. I asked Rita what we could do about the problem. Remember, this changes to the. I asked Rita what we could do about the problem.
We could do about.
All right, let's do one more example and then we'll practice. Okay, let's try one more time. Let's see.
Finally.
Oh,
Annoying noise.
why is the road closed? I asked the police officer. All right.
Yes.
So here we have an is verb, okay? So what are we going to say?
I
asked
Officer.
the police officer.
The police officer.
Why
I
was
remember I gotta change the
why
position of the verb.
why the road was closed.
Exactly. I asked the police officer why the road was
The
closed.
road was-
So again, I have to make these 2 changes here. 2 changes. Right? I got to put the verb after the subject, and I got to change the verb to past. So with each one of these, what did I do? The verb was after the subject, and the verb was past. The verb was after the subject, and the verb was past. The verb was after the subject, and the verb was past. The verb was after the subject, and the verb was past. And do I have question marks?
Mm,
In the first one, yes, right? In the first example, I have question marks. But do I have question mark in the second example?
No.
nope.
No, no question mark necessary. Because remember, we don't use quotation marks or question marks in a reported question. Okay, I'll give you a little time to write that down. I see some people still writing, so I'm going to give you some time. If you printed out that worksheet that I sent, go ahead and grab that. We're going to look at that next and see if we can figure it out. I don't think we're going to do all of it right now, but we'll do some of it. And then I'll have you do some of it. We'll do some of it maybe tomorrow because it's kind of long. It's 12 questions, so that's a little bit long. Because I do want to do maybe some reading tonight.
Using past questions to change the answer to the verb after the subject to pass from where the apples.
So whenever you have a reported question, you got to have those 2 steps. The verb has to be after the subject, and the verb has to be some kind of past. And we were just looking at the past forms, right? Can, could, will, would, etc., etc., etc. Okay, everybody got it written down?
Yes.
No, not yet.
Not yet? Okay, I will wait.
Thank you, teacher. Ask questions.
So while we're waiting out, let's do some for practice. If I say, I want you to say the teacher asked me. If I say, what are you going to do? The teacher asked me.
The teacher asked me
I think
What
what
I
The
I
subject.
I was to do.
What I was going to
was
do.
going
right?
to do.
I
Right.
was
Was
going.
going
What
to
are
do.
you going to do? The teacher asked me what I was going to do. Okay.
Okay. To pass from.
What is your favorite flavor of ice cream? What
the
is your
teacher
Teacher told saying, ask me
What
what
was my favorite
favorite
what my
ice cream
favorite
flavor.
ice cream was?
what my favorite ice cream was, right?
Asking
The
what.
teacher asked me what my favorite ice
My
cream
favorite ice cream
was,
was.
right?
Good.
The verb is past and the verb is after the subject. Okay. Who took my pencil?
The teacher
The
teacher
asked
asked
who
who
had taken my
had
pencil.
Taken his pencil.
taken
Right. The teacher asked who had taken his pencil.
his pencil.
his pencil.
The teacher asked who had taken his pencil. Everybody got it written down?
No,
Yes.
teacher, I'm sorry.
No,
No.
still working? Okay, we'll still
Yes,
we'll keep
so
practicing.
sorry.
That's okay.
When do
That's
you
okay.
wake
We can
up?
keep practicing. Let's see. Let's see. How about how many tacos are there in that box? How many
In the
tacos are
box?
there in the box?
the
Teacher
teacher
asked
My mom is
how
How
many
Tacos were there in the box.
were there in the box?
in the box
There were in the box, right?
there
Teacher,
were.
in the
the
box.
teacher asked how many tacos there were in the box. Okay. can we go home now?
Yes.
Yes. No, that's not a question. That's practice.
The teacher
Teacher
asked,
Teacher asked me if
If
that
we
go
we
home now.
could go home
go
now.
home.
Okay, no problem.
No,
Can we
later.
stop? Can we stop the share?
About
Yes.
Yes. All right.
yes.
Okay. So let's take a look.
Ask
At,
Rita.
here we go. I don't think we're going to do all of this tonight because it's kind of long, but let's do some of it tonight. All right. What does it say here? We have reported questions and reported answers. Edgar says,
Rita.
how much is this shirt? Everybody can see it?
Yes.
yes,
And the clerk says it's on sale for $35. Okay, so what do we have? Edgar asked the clerk
How
how
much
much the shirt was.
was?
And the
God
clerk told
asked
him
the clerk
that it was
how
on
much
sale for $35.
So for $35.
Okay, everybody see what happened? Right?
Yes.
I changed is to was
Was.
2 times, right? And then I put the word was after the subject. How much the shirt was. And then it was. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So far, so good?
Yes.
Okay, that's the example. Let's see if we can do this together. All right. So we have David and Paulina. So David says, what kind of movie do you want to see tonight? Paulina says, I'm in the mood for a comedy. So what can we say? David asked Paulina.
David asked Paulina
What kind of
What kind of movie
what kind of food
did you
Well, hold
did
on. We gotta change the verbs and the pronouns, right? So David asked Paulina what kind of
what
movie
movie did you want to see?
she wanted
Wanted to see
to see
tonight.
that night,
that night.
right? And
And
Paulina
Paulina
said
said
that
that
she
she
was
in
in
the
the mood
for
for comedy.
comedy.
a comedy.
An
A comedy.
to say that
All right. So David asked Paulina what kind of movie she wanted to see that night. And Paulina said that she was in the mood for a comedy. See what happened? I have wanted and was, right?
Was wanted and was.
And what's the position? After she. She
After she.
wanted, she
Debbie
was.
asked Paulina what kind of movie she wanted to see that night, and Paulina said she was
in
for a comedy.
she was
Okay.
in
So David asked Paulina what kind of movie she wanted to see that night. And Paulina said that she was in the mood for a comedy. Okay, so we changed want, do you want to wanted. And
she wasn't the mood in the same she was looking.
She felt like I feel like a comedy. I'm in the mood for a comedy.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. We have Helen and Miguel. Any questions on number 1?
No.
So we did 2
Helen,
things.
can I borrow your
right?
eraser?
We put the verb after the subject and we made the verb past. Okay. So Helen, can I borrow your eraser? Yes, but please return it. Okay.
Helena,
Helen
Ask
Miguel
Miguel
if
could
she
she
could borrow
borrow
his
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 eraser.
eraser. And
And Miguel
And
says
he
Miguel,
said that
he says
he
that
said that
she
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 could,
could,
but
could buy
she
please.
but
She
She
could.
has to return it.
but
had to return it,
She
right?
has to.
She had to return it. She had to return it.
Right? So Helen asked Miguel if she could borrow his eraser, and he said that she could, but she had to return it.
Yeah, she could. She
Why she has? She had.
We can say she had to, or she asked him to. Either way.
Okay.
Yeah, I could also say, but she asked him to return it. I could say either way. I could say, but she had to return it, or but she asked him to return it. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So what did we do? We have, instead of can I borrow, we changed it to she could borrow. And instead of saying yes, we just said she could. Okay? All right. How many times have you gone to San Francisco? Jonathan says, I have never been there. All right. So what do we say? Carlos asked
Jonathan,
how many
times
had you gone?
you
put the subject in front. Put the subject in front.
You had gone. You had
Well,
gone.
but change to third person, please.
he
He had gone.
He
had gone
She has gone. Had gone.
to
Entonces
San
present
Francisco.
perfect. To San Francisco. And
Jonathan
he
Jonathan
say that
said
he
that
he had
had
asked
never
Jonathan how
gone.
many
never
times he had gone
Gone.
to San
never
Francisco.
been
Jonathan
Never
said
been
that he
there.
had never been there.
Say
Right? Carlos asked Jonathan how many times he had gone to San Francisco, and Jonathan said that he had never been there. So what did we do? We used past perfect 2 times, right?
Yes, past perfect time.
Right. He had gone and
Had never gone. Had never been.
he had been.
He had never been.
Present perfect changed to past perfect. And the subject was he in both cases, right? He had gone, he had never been. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Okay, now what do we have here? We have, did you understand the lesson? Simple past, right? What happens to simple past?
Past present perfect.
Past perfect, right? So, Jeff
Asked David,
Inez
Inez
Inez,
if
She understood the lesson.
she had understood the lesson.
Had understood.
The lesson. She said,
And
Inez
said that she
was
thinks so.
say
She thinks
she thought
that she thought so. She thought
right.
so.
Jeff asked Inez if she had understood the lesson, and Inez said that she thought so. Right? I
She
think
thought
so became I thought so, right?
Thought so. Okay.
But aquí, this is, did you understand this past?
And then we changed to
Why
past
you
perfect.
change to past perfect? You need to
Simple
change
past changes to past perfect.
to past perfect. Okay.
Yeah. Remember, this is formal English. If you said Jeff asked Inez if she understood, it would be okay. Don't worry too much about that one.
Listen.
All right.
Lynette said that she thought.
Okay. What do we have next? We have present perfect next.
Mike.
What have you been doing lately? I've been taking an online English class. Okay.
Mike asked
Jim.
Mike asked
Jim.
Jim
Mike in
what
had
what had
Hold
you
on.
had been
Put it
been
after the
what
subject,
had-
please.
What
What's
what
the
he
what he
what
what
he
he had
has been done lately.
been doing lately.
Jim said that she had been taking online English classes.
And Jim said
right? Jim. Mike asked Jim what he had been doing lately, and Jim said that he had been taking an online English class.
that
English classes.
is
Okay. So what happens? We change present perfect continuous to past perfect continuous.
been
So Mike asked Jim what he had been doing lately, and Jim said that he had been taking an online English class. No problem. All right, the next one has will and should. Okay. So what are we going to say?
Gregory
Ask
Sammy
Sammy
when
when
the bus will come. When the bus
the bus
Will or would?
will come.
Will come.
Would come.
And he
And
said
Sammy is that it
wouldn't
That it,
no
should
sure
should
be
should
here
shouldn't be
be there
there
here
5
in
minutes.
5 minutes.
So what happens to should? No change, right?
No change.
What happens to will? Changes to would. All right.
All right.
Okay. All right. All right, students. Let's try these next three. Let's try these on your own. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I'm gonna put the microphones on mute for a few minutes, and I'm gonna see if you can write these on your own. Okay. We have, can I help you? I'm looking for Sunset Boulevard. Why does English have so many verbs? I'm not sure. Hey, don't use those computers. I'm sorry, it won't happen again. Okay. All right. So I'm going to put the microphones off for a second. All right. Microphones off. Can everybody see the paper? Maybe make it just a little bit bigger.
Teacher, I gotta go.
Okay, that's fine. We'll see you later.
All right, see you. Thank you.
All right. All right. So we're going to try number 7, 8, and 9. Try number 7, 8, and 9. So I'm going to be quiet for, I don't know, 5 minutes. And then we're going to check 7, 8, and 9 together and see if we got it. Okay. So I'm going to be quiet for a few minutes. You guys write. And remember, you just write. What's the 2 things we have to do? Well, actually, we have to do 3 things. Number 1, we have to change the pronouns to third person. Number 2, we have to change the present tense verbs to past tense verbs. And number 3, we have to put the verbs after the subject. Okay, so I'm going to give you about 5 minutes to work on your own. And I'll be right back. I'm going to turn off my camera for a second. And I'll be right back and we'll check it together, okay? All right, give me just a second. Let me stop the video there. Okay. All right, I'll be right back, okay?
Okay.
Remember, while you're working, remember you have to do 3 things. Number 1, you have to change your pronouns. Third person pronouns, right? He, she, it, they. Second, what do you need to do? You need to make sure that your verb is after the subject. And number 3, you got to make sure your verb is some kind of past. How are we doing? More time?
Yes.
More time? Okay. We'll wait about 5 more minutes. All right, how we doing? Ready for some checking? Let's do it together.
Yes.
Let's do it
Yes,
together
Mr. West.
so we don't run out of time. All right. So what are we going to say for the first one? The police
Officer.
officer
Police
asked
officer.
Melanie
Melanie.
if
he could help
could help her,
her.
right? And Melanie said, what did she say?
She was looking for Sunset Boulevard.
Exactly, that she was looking for Sunset Boulevard. So the police officer asked Melanie if he could help her, right? If he could help her.
If he could help her. Melanie said that she was
And Melanie
looking
said that
for
she
Sunset
was
Boulevard.
looking for Sunset Boulevard.
Mhm.
So far, so good?
Yes.
All right, the next one is a simple present tense question, right? Because it has does. What happens to do, does, and did? Throw it away, right?
Throw it away.
All right, so Zach, what did Zach ask? Zach
Told Mark or ask Mark?
asked Mark.
Zach asked Mark. Okay.
Why?
Why?
More.
Why English?
English
Mark.
had
Simple past, right? Had
had
so
so
many
many irregular verbs.
irregular verbs.
And Mark said
Mark
And Mark said that he
that
And
he wasn't sure.
wasn't sure.
wasn't sure.
There we go. So why English had, and Mark said that he wasn't, right? All right, now the next one is actually kind of tricky. It says, "Hey, don't use those computers." Okay, that's a command, right?
Mhm.
So what are we going to say? The teacher
the teacher told
Chair.
told Glenn
told Glenn not
Teacher told Glenn
not to use
not to use the computers, right?
those
not to
computers.
use those
Not to
computers.
use those computers.
Okay. Teacher told them
And
not to use the computers.
Glenn said that
Told Glenn. The teacher told
He's
Teacher
sorry.
told
he was
Glenn
sorry
He was sorry.
and that it
said he was sorry. And that he was sorry. He was sorry and that
It won't happen again.
wouldn't happen.
Wouldn't.
All right, the teacher told Glenn not to use the computers, and Glenn said that he was sorry and that it wouldn't happen again. Glenn said two things, right? So we have two things here. First we have that he was, and the next one that it wouldn't.
It wouldn't.
And then this one's the infinitive, right? Because it's a command. Remember, commands use the infinitive. Hey, don't use the computers. The teacher told Glenn not to use the computers, and Glenn said that he was sorry and that it wouldn't happen again. Okay?
Okay.
Oh my goodness. All right. All right, that's enough of that. All right. I don't want to break our brains here. All right, let me turn everybody's microphones back on. Oops, wrong button. Let's see, turn those mics back on. All right. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
That was fun, wasn't it?
It was okay.
It was okay.
Little bit tired, teacher.
Yeah, that's a challenge. That's a challenge. Those past tense. I think the statement are not so bad, right? If I say I can swim, the teacher said he could swim, right? That's not so bad, right? But when you start changing the verbs and the position and the pronouns, oh my goodness, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of work. Okay, you feel okay?
Okay. Yes.
More or less?
More than less.
More than less, less than more.
Yes.
All right. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, that was a lot of work. All right. Let's finish up with one more thing, and let's see what we can do with it. I'm going to share one more screen here. Let me see here. ¿Dónde está? What am I looking for? Okay, hold on here. Okay, 1 second. Okay, do you see the Schoology page here?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you where you can practice this some more, and we'll do a little bit of practice together, and then we'll be done for tonight with this. And then tomorrow night, I promise, not so much work. A lot of work this lesson. Gives me a headache, this lesson. Okay. All right. So we go to my courses here, and of course we are the cheetahs. All right. So we open up our cheetah page. Can everybody see the Schoology?
Yes.
Okay.
I
So
read every day.
you're very good. Very good. All right. So let's open up the yellow folder that says skill practice. And remember, skill practice is just a lot of links to different websites. But let's try this one, embedded questions, noun clauses. This is what we're practicing right now. And we have several here. We have embedded questions and reported speech. Let's try one of each tonight, and then we will be done. Let's try embedded questions 1 and reported speech 1. Okay, sounds good.
Yes.
Let's give it a try. All right, here we go. Did we do this one already? I don't know. I'm losing my track of time. Did we do this one?
I don't know. No.
Okay, not okay.
I
All right.
don't remember.
I don't remember. Okay, well, if you don't remember and I don't remember, then it'll be brand new for us. All right, it says, choose the correct sentence. Can everybody see this?
Yes.
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 Okay, so it says, I was wondering
I was wondering.
if you knew what time is it. Have you decided what are you going to order from the menu? Please tell me what your plans are after you graduate. Which one is correct?
The first.
The first one?
The
No,
first one,
I
think.
think the letter C.
Sí.
Letter
C.
C.
Tell me what.
C is correct. That's right. Right. What's the problem with letter A? This,
The verb?
that is
The-
it, right? It should be it
Is it?
was.
It is.
Yeah, if it was,
It was.
I wonder if you knew what time it
Please tell me
was.
what plans
Right?
are after you graduate.
And what's the problem
Please, I
here?
was
The
wondering if
are
you know
you.
what time is it.
Please
But
tell me what
here
it is.
here we are good. Tell me what
Have
your
you decided
plans
what are you going
are.
to do?
Okay,
You
next
ordered
one.
from the menu.
All right.
Can you remember what name on the
What the name of
The name of the
the author who wrote The
wrote
Old Man and the Sea was? Have they decided how long they are going to stay in Hawaii? Does anyone know, is the test tomorrow going to be difficult?
B.
No, because B has are they. That's not going to work.
No, it's they
Have
are.
they
If they
decided?
don't-
Letter A.
A.
A
The
is
letter
Yeah,
A.
I-
no one knows.
right.
A.
A. That's a very long and complicated
Yes,
sentence, but
Yes.
what
Can you
the name
remember
of the
what
author
name
who
of the name of
wrote
the
Old
who
Man and the
wrote the
Sea,
man and the sea
sea was?
was?
Okay. All right. Number 3. Choose the correct sentence. I wish I knew where I left my glasses. Does anyone know what is the color of an eagle's egg? Does anyone know why was today's meeting postponed?
And then they will see.
No.
No?
Not in the B.
Does anyone knows why was today's meeting
Well,
postponed?
now
until next week?
remember where do we put the verb?
Why was.
After the subject, right?
Mhm.
Does this have the verb after the subject? Nope.
No.
Does this have the verb
A.
after the subject? Nope.
No.
A.
The letter
What about this one?
The letter
wish.
A.
I
I
yes.
wish I knew where.
I wish I knew where I left my glasses. Yes, good.
Mhm.
All right.
After the sentence, not after
All
the
right.
sentence.
Have you decided, will you accept the offer or not? Okay.
no.
Does anyone know what the topic of today's lecture
Okay.
is?
Yes.
Can anyone remember what did we learn about coordinate
Can anyone
conjunctions in
remember
class?
what did they learn about
Letter C.
conjunction?
Letter B.
B.
Yes.
I hear some votes for B, and the answer is B.
B.
Right.
B. Does
Yeah, 'cause we
anyone know
have
what the topic
What
of today
the topic
is?
is, right?
The topic.
All right.
The topic is.
Let's see. Number 4. Are you of the reason why he is not in class
The
today?
reason why.
I wish I knew
Not
where
in
is the
class
best place
today.
in Victoria to buy shoes. Could you tell me when the next train is supposed to arrive?
Letter C.
Letter C. That's right, because we have the verb after the subject.
The verb after the subject.
All right.
Yes.
All right. The
So
next
I
one. I wish I knew what is the time now. Does anyone know why Carol was absent? Have you decided whether or not are you going to buy a car?
Have you
Letter B.
decided whether
Letter B.
does anyone knows what color
Why? Because the verb is after the subject.
After the song.
Here the verb is in front of the subject. Here the verb is in front of the subject. The verb should be after the subject.
After the subject.
All right. Next one.
choose the correct
Do you know
sentences.
whether or not they are going to have a large wedding? Do you know where are they going to stay while they are visiting Victoria? I wonder why is the
Not clear.
cafeteria so crowded?
Crowded. Wonder where is the cafeteria? Do you know?
See?
Do you know where are they going to stay?
Which one do you like?
Letter
Do
B.
you know whether or not?
Do you know it?
C. Number.
No.
Letter
I
C.
wonder why is
Well,
the
C is a
cafeteria.
problem because we have is, and then we have is again.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
think
That
this.
doesn't work,
Do you know
right?
where the letter B?
Letter
Do you know
B.
where are they?
Letter B is a problem because we have are they, right?
Or they.
Are they? Yes.
That's
Letter
not
A. Do you know
They-
whether or not
There you are. Letter A.
they are going to have?
that's right. That's right. Letter A. Because we have where's the verb?
Where
After
they
the
are
subject.
going to. After
The verb is after the subject.
Oh.
Okay. All right. So
Okay.
where do we put the verb, students?
After
After
the
the
subject.
subject.
After the subject. Okay. Which one of these three has the verb after the
Please tell
subject?
me.
And the A number, letter A.
But letter A has a did. Remember what happens to do, does, and
The
did?
letter C. Letter
Throw it
C.
away.
Teacher.
Letter
Letter C.
Letter C. That's right.
That's right. There's C.
Letter C. Very good. Do you know what the weather is supposed to be like on the weekend?
Mhm.
So teacher, the verb is?
Yeah, well,
Mhm.
the subject is weather, and the verb
The verb is.
is supposed to be, right? Okay.
Teacher.
The next one. All right. Which one has the subject after the verb?
Letter C.
Letter C.
Yes. No.
It's
C is not a bad choice, but there's something else
Do
wrong
you
with
know
C.
if many
is
people?
do.
It's letter A. Do you know if many people
Letter A.
coming to the party?
B.
B.
Oh,
Wonder how long.
How long
Sorry.
it takes.
It takes.
I was looking
Right.
at it from
Right. Letter
So I wonder how long it takes to get here.
letter C is okay, except for we shouldn't use present continuous in that question. That one's a little bit tricky because it's a good clause, but it's using the wrong verb. All right, last one. Which one makes sense here?
Do you know if many people are
The letter
coming?
B?
Have decided.
Letter
A. Letter
letter
A.
A.
Letter A,
How
teacher.
many
Letter A.
people are coming? That's
Are.
right. Letter A. 100%. Fantastic.
No.
You guys are amazing.
We're good.
100%. Okay, that's good. All right. All right, let's try one reported speech and then that'll be enough for today. All right, so that was embedded. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different practices there. You can do whenever you have free time, right? This is always in the yellow folder, okay? Look at the
skill practice.
This is called skill practice. This is all in the yellow folder, right? And this has practice for different kinds of grammar, right? If you need to
Okay.
work on your perfects, if you need to work on your conditionals, if you need to practice your tag questions, whatever. All right, let's do one reported speech and then we'll call it a day. Okay, and then you can practice as much as you want on this in your free time. All right, let's see what we got here. It's going a little bit slow. Hopefully it will open up. Sometimes these links are old and they don't work anymore. And that one doesn't seem to want to work. Let's try the next one. Let's try number 2. See if this works better. Oh, there we go.
You know what? It's the same. It was a thing on my computer. I couldn't open those.
All right. Oh, this is a good one. This is a good
Okay.
practice. Remember time clauses.
Mhm.
How to change the time words, right?
Today.
Remember this practice we had in our presentation from the other night on Thursday, right? So for example, what do we change today to?
That day.
That day.
That day.
Day.
Today becomes that day.
The day after tomorrow.
What about yesterday? What happens to yesterday?
The day before.
The day before. Exactly.
The day
What happens to tomorrow?
Tomorrow. Next.
The day after.
The day after. Day.
The
The next
day
day.
before. The next day.
The next
The
day.
day.
Right. You could say the day after too. The day after is fine too. Or the following day. All right. What about a week ago?
A week before.
A week
A week
before.
Oh,
Last weekend?
last week.
Week
last
before.
The week.
The weekend.
The
The
week
weekend before.
The
Right?
weekend before.
A weekend.
Next week?
Next week.
The weekend after.
1 week.
The following week.
The following
The
week.
following
Right.
week.
Following.
These days?
These days.
That day.
Those days.
Those
Those
days.
days.
Right.
Day.
Last week?
Last week.
The week before.
The week before.
The week before. Now?
Now.
Today.
Today.
Then.
That day.
Then. Right?
Then.
Oh.
Right. So someone says, I'm busy right now. Right?
Mhm.
He told me he was busy then.
Oh.
This morning?
This morning. That morning.
That morning.
That morning.
That morning.
100%.
Great.
You guys are great.
I need.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. Let me see here. Pronouns, reported commands, affirmative. Reported questions. Here we go. This will be a good one. Here we go. Okay. Everybody ready? We'll finish up with this tonight. All right.
Okay.
So, Christopher, do you want to dance? So what did Chris?
Ask me
If
that
If
I wanted to
I
dance.
I
I
want
want to
dance.
right? Christopher asked me if I wanted
If
to
I
dance.
want to dance.
We need these samples to the in the test.
That's right.
No.
No test.
Okay. No. All right.
No test.
Betty wanted to know. What did Betty want to know? When did you come?
So she
When-
wanted to know
When?
Penny.
When
You can
you came
I had.
There we go. Had come. Right.
or
I
had
had
come. Oh,
Betty wanted to know when I had come.
When I had come.
I
had come.
had come. Híjole.
When
Okay.
No. No doy una.
All right. The next one.
Mark asked me
Has
When
arrived.
Mark asked me
Mark
if
asked
I
me
had
arrived.
arrived.
I had arrived.
if John
If
John
If
had
has arrived.
had
Had arrived.
had arrived.
right. Mark asked me
Past
if
perfect,
John
past
had arrived.
perfect.
Exactly. Present perfect changed to past perfect. Now this one, has does. What
You
happens to
know
does?
what does throw away.
Throw it away.
Parks.
Throw it away.
Parks.
So
Maria,
Ronald asked
Where
me
Maria
where
Ask me
Maria
where Maria
Park her car.
Park.
Parque
Park.
her car.
It
Park
Park.
her car.
her
ED.
car.
cart.
Ronald asked me where Maria parked her car. Okay. Did you watch the latest film?
Wash. Elizabeth asking me if
If I had
I had
Lisa
watched
asked me if I
watched
had watched
I had
the
watched
latest
the
this.
latest film.
if I had watched the latest film.
If I had watched the latest film.
All right. Can I help you?
Man,
Mandy
Mandy
wants to
was
know if I
wanted to know
if she
if
could help me. If she could help me. If she could,
Mandy
he could help
if
me.
she could help me.
Wanted to know if she could help me.
If she could help me.
she could help me.
All right. Next one has
And-
Will.
Andrew asked me
Will Mandy have
Will
lunch with Sue?
asked me
where we are going to doing.
We would.
If
if I have lunch with Sue.
if Mandy
If
Handily would
Good.
Would
Mandy
have
have lunch with Sue.
so
good. Okay.
Justin, are you
What are-
doing?
All right.
What are you doing?
Justin asking me
Justin
what
asked
I
was
what
I was doing.
I was
What I
doing.
was doing. What
Justin
I was
asked me what I
doing.
was doing. Okay. How much pocket money does Lisa get? Do you not know what that word means, pocket money?
Yep.
What is pocket money?
Change?
How much do you have in your pocket?
Oh,
No,
pocket
it's change money.
pocket
Isn't it?
money means money for whatever you want, right?
Oh.
So it's
It's like extra money, teacher?
yeah, it's like extra money. But usually in America we say spending money,
Spending money.
right? Like for when like I used to give my daughter an allowance. She had a certain amount of spending money every week, right? She gets $20 and she can spend it on whatever she wants to. That's pocket money, right? It's not for expenses. It's not for your rent. It's just for whatever you want. That's called pocket
Okay.
money that you can carry around. If you want to buy a soda, buy a soda. If you want to see a movie, right? That's sometimes we call it mad money, right? Extra money, right? Money that's not for your expenses.
How
I
much?
have nothing.
Something extra.
Yeah. So like
Like you can spend.
you can spend on whatever you want.
What?
Okay. So how much pocket money? So we're gonna start with how much pocket
We
money. How
haven't
much?
because we don't work.
Yeah, I know. We don't have any pocket money, right?
I,
How much pocket money
she,
Lisa
got.
got?
Lisa
Exactly.
got.
How
God.
much pocket money Lisa
Lisa
got?
At these moments, we don't have pocket money.
Yeah, that's right. No pocket money. We don't have we have pockets but no pocket money.
That's good one, teacher.
All right. Now this one's a little tricky. Must.
Must.
What's past tense for must?
I do the shopping.
The same must.
The must is, I think, the same.
do.
No.
How do you say obligation in the past?
Obligation in the past.
Must had to.
Must
Had to.
have
Had to.
Had to.
Had to.
have to.
So Anne asked if she
Had
Have
she
to.
had
had
to
Had
do
to.
the shopping.
the shopping.
Have to do.
The shopping.
Right? Anne asked if she had to do the shopping. All right.
Oh, yeah, have to. Mhm.
There we go. 100% again.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Now, this is actually a very good website. It's actually made for students in Germany, but it has a lot of good grammar practice. So you see the website right here? It's called English-Hilfen.de. And there's a lot of good grammar practice on this website. So you see, we were doing reported speech here, and there were a lot of different reported speech practices. Look at how many there are. Look at all of the different practices for reported speech. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's like 15 or 20 practices just in this one website. So this is a very good website. I like this website a lot. It's called English.Hilfen.de. So it's actually a German website, but everybody's learning English all over the world, right? So check that website out. But notice English is spelled a little differently because it's spelled in the German way. See how they spell English? E-N-G-L-I-S-H.
In the same Schoology?
You can get to it from Schoology, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You can just go to Schoology and click on it. It's right here.
Okay.
It's all of these are from that same website.
Okay.
See, so for example, right here, it goes to the same place. I think it does. Anyway. Okay, good. So I showed you those resources because tomorrow night we're going to move on and start the new chapter. I know we don't know this perfectly yet, but we'll keep practicing. So I'm going to turn off our share for a second. Okay, here we are back. We have a few people here. All right. So some people got frustrated and went home, I think. Already. All right. Anyway, that was a hard lesson, and Thursday was a hard lesson, I admit. But tomorrow we're going to go to do something a little bit easier. We're going to look at what we call the modals, right? And what are the key modals we're going to look at tomorrow? We're going to look at should, have to, must. Oh, so we're gonna look at something completely different, but we'll be into the home stretch of our practice. So we've done our conditionals, we've done our passive, we've done our reported speech, we've done our indirect quotations. So we really only have one last thing to do, the modals, and then we'll be basically finished, and you'll be ready for your final exam. Oh, we have to do adjective clauses too. Well, remember this semester the final exam is going to be optional.
Okay.
Right. So if you don't feel comfortable taking a test this time, you can say, I just want to stay in the same level. It's no problem. Right?
Okay, teacher.
So I'm not going to force you to the next level. If you want to try, you can try just to see where you're going. Maybe you can say, oh, I do know all these things. So anyway, and then over the summer there'll be an opportunity for you to review, because what I'm going to do during the summer is I'm going to make a little short presentation every day so you can look at it. And so it's not going to be like a 1 hour and 30-minute video. It'll be like a 5 or 10-minute video.
That's good.
So you'll be able to keep it fresh in your mind. Unfortunately, there's no night class in summer.
No, teacher?
No, and not in summer. So we'll be off for 8 weeks. We still have 4 weeks to go, but then we're going to be off for 8. And hopefully we'll be back at school in 3 months. Can we be back at school in 3 months? I hope so.
Yeah, of course.
I hope so.
I think
I send you my practice test.
Oh yes, I saw that.
Okay.
Now, did you push the submit button already, or did you just print it?
No. I think I submit.
Did you get a score?
No.
Oh, okay. So maybe
I just send you the message.
I got your pages. So you don't know your score yet, is what you're saying. Okay, so I will check it for you.
Okay.
Yeah, you could have pushed the button that says submit, and that will give you your score automatically. But
Okay,
it's either way, no problem.
Okay, you will scare me tomorrow.
Yes, tonight is scary enough.
For my score.
Your heart attack. All right, no problem, everybody.
Did you get the mic? My
Yeah.
writing? Did you get?
Yeah, oh yes, I got it. I haven't checked it yet though.
Okay.
I did get it. Thank you. I will have it checked for tomorrow. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay. No problem, everybody.
No
problem, teacher.
All right.
Problem,
Thank you,
teacher.
everybody. Talk to you later.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye,
Bye.
Leo. Bye, Isidora. Bye,
Bye.
teacher.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody.
See you later.
Bye.